This is my series where I share a story a day about moments in my life that moved me away from being conservative to no longer being conservative at all anymore. This is part 4, I believe. I try to make these videos shorter, but I kind of just get to yapping and I can't really help it. So I'm sorry. These are just going to be long. Maybe like you can play them as a playlist or something and just scroll to the next one, I guess. I don't know. Also, people were asking for Instagram that they weren't able to find the videos. I made it so that it's like only on the Reels section. So if you slide over and then go to Reels, you can find it right there. Also, people were asking about being able to share the videos on Instagram. My Instagram right now is private. If like enough people really wanted me to do that, I'd be open to maybe the idea of moving it to public. But for now, if there's like someone that you want to send it to, you can just like send it to them and then ask them to follow me and I'll let them follow me, type of thing. And we can do it that way. All right, so take a moment with me to go back to 2015. This was my freshman year of college. This was when we didn't really know who was going to be the Republican nominee quite yet. Different people were campaigning. There was a lot of stuff that was going on. And in that time frame, Trump was kind of a joke. Like, a lot of people really didn't think that Trump was a serious candidate. And a lot of Christians especially didn't like him as a candidate because they wanted someone that was going to hold more morality. Where's that at now? Hard to say. But basically that was like the situation then, was a lot of people really didn't like Trump. I remember we had like Marco Rubio come and speak at our school and the entire auditorium was packed. Later, we had Mike Pence, when he was VP for Trump, come and speak, and very few people showed up, especially people from the school itself. I heard that, I don't know if this is true or not, but at the time, people said that the person that had founded our school didn't like Trump and he didn't want Trump to come, but he was fine with Mike Pence being there. So Mike Pence was there. There were students who like were even like protesting outside. It was like, yes, like the 6 liberal students in the entire school, but people were like not happy about a person that represented Trump being at our school. I never saw any faculty show up. I did go and like sneak in and like take a little peek-see to like see what was going on because I'm nosy and I had to like bring something to a friend. So I was like, I'll just go and like see what's happening real quick. And not a lot of people showed up, especially in comparison to seeing Marco Rubio's amount of people that showed up for him. There was even like students who were there, very few students who were there, but the very few students who were there, there was like one of our student newspaper people were like going around taking pictures, and like some of the people were like hiding their face because they didn't want a record of them showing up to a Trump rally being available. That was the vibe. 2015 going into 2016, that's how a lot of people were. People were not excited about Trump. This was not something that people supported. Obviously, someone supported him because he became president, but at least for a lot of Christians who were conservative, this wasn't their guy. This wasn't the person that they were like really hyped for or wanted in a lot of ways. And at that time, I would have probably considered myself to be a moderate-leaning conservative. Every year, I moved further and further to the left, but at that time, I probably would have said like I was a moderate-leaning conservative. And I felt some level of connection with other people because a lot of people also didn't support Trump. And so, you know, as much as I had been a conservative at a certain point in my life, I've never, ever been a Trump supporter, and I will always be a never Trumper. And that was easy for me. That felt like a moral conviction to not support that guy. And so at the time, it wasn't that bad because a lot of other people also felt very similarly. And that was great. When he won the nomination, things started to shift. There were still a lot of people who were like, I'm voting for this guy, but only because of abortion, which is another conversation that we should get into another time, but we will get into. But it was very like, I don't like this guy, but I don't like this about him, but, and I honestly still don't really I didn't really respect that. I don't really respect that. Like on some level, like I get some level of people making practical decisions, all that kind of stuff. But I was like, no, I think this guy is pretty bad. I think this guy is like pretty morally repugnant, and I don't think you should vote for someone that's morally repugnant. I remember when I was a kid, the significance of a leader being someone of moral character was given to me as like this is something that you should value. This is something that we should all value in a leader, is moral character. I remember my parents talking about Bill Clinton cheating on his wife, and that was the way that they framed it. And they were like, if like Hillary can't even trust him, how could we trust him? And that was like this whole thing of like, you don't support people with bad morals. You support people with good character. And I would say 2015 to 2016, there were a lot of people who were still kind of in that camp. As soon as Trump became the nominee, a lot of people started shifting because they felt like they couldn't vote for a Democrat for one reason or another. They had to vote for like pro-life stances, that type of thing. And it kind of came into that realm of a lot of people feeling that way. I didn't feel that way. I didn't vote for the guy. But like there was some level of like understanding in that people still saw the moral failings of this man, and that was not inconceivable to them, is that this guy kind of sucks. But that shift was significant because I had been told all my life that the morality of the people that you elect is a value. It is something that you should care about. And I watched as slowly that value shifted to being like, well, but like God can use him even if he's like the scum of the earth, like type of thing. And I saw that as people like buckling and like having kind of a weak spine and not really standing up for the things that they had told me my whole life that they believed in. This is getting a little long, so I'll wrap it up here, but I have more thoughts on this.